To commence with the name of Almighty Allah, the most gracious and merciful. Assalamu alaikum. I am Ali Hassan, a postgraduate student of Food Science and Technology from the University of Agricultural Sciences, Faisalabad. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Dr. Food Tea. So here we will use to upload the videos relevant to food science and technology, and this YouTube channel is specifically designed for the students who have enrolled in the course of food science and technology. Either they are studying as a major degree of food science and technology in any of the university, and those students which are concerned with any diploma of food science and technology. So here on this channel, that is Dr. Food Tea, you can get a lot of stuff relevant to the food technology. Okay, so be attached and stay tuned to the channel. So we will keep on uploading the videos in a series wise, and each and every topic of food science and technology will be discussed on this channel. So this is my first video. So as this is our first video, usually it will starts with the introduction. So in this video we will discuss what is food science, like what is food science, what we used to discuss in this degree, what are the courses that are taught in the degree, what are the areas of science that are covered in under the umbrella of food science and technology. Each and every aspect of food science and technology will be discussed here. So the very first chapter will be about introduction to food science and technology. Have a quick glance on the contents. So first of all, we'll see what is food, definition, then terms, then objectives, and some functions of the food. So first of all, we know that each and every human living, each and every animal, so each and every living entity needs some foodstuff, organic material for its sustainability. Uh, Man needs adequate food for growth and development and maintenance. So these are all the functions that are performed due to the intake of food. And the food patterns usually changes from different age groups, different among the species, and these are different among the animals. So even in the same species, food patterns changes, there is different food pattern for the childs as compared to youngs, and the old age peoples need a different type of food as compared to the other uh, ages. So that it depends upon the age as well within a species also. So food production, there is a para about the food production. Food production expanded. Food safety has become a critical role in preventing the hazards and illness among the populations. So where there is a production of the food, as we are living in the modern era, so there is a lot of concerns about the health. So where there is a production of food, there are also safety management practices followed in that chain. Okay, so for that stuff there is very important need to understand the science of food, how to produce, what are the contents in the food present, how to like uh, yield more and more food, as well as when the food is ultimately produced, how to keep it safe. So these all are the goals that are that are kept in mind while studying the food science and technology. So basically each and every aspect of food is discussed in food science and technology. So first of all, we will discuss what is food, what is the exact definition of food. So as you can see in the box, food refers to anything which nourishes the body. It includes solids, semi-solids, and liquids which can be consumed to sustain body and keep it healthy. So basically, food is any material in any of the state, but basically this is in a solid and semi-solid. So what it ultimately gives to the body, that it is important for the nourishment of the body. So that is food. Okay, so it can be, food can be consumed in raw form, in processed form, in semi-processed form, or in some other ways. So what is what is the best way? So the food is consumed in that form which feels comfortable, which can easily be digestible, which can easy to intake, and which is which gives some pleasure and satisfaction as well. So food is mainly composed of nutrients. Basically, all food stuff is made up of nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fat, water, and some minerals also. So minerals can be the substances that are inorganic in nature, like copper, magnesium, ferrous, and a lot of other types of elements are there. And vitamins are very important for the body functions, and they play a critical role in many of the biochemical reactions happening in the body. So food also provides vitamins to the body also. Emulsifiers, acids, antioxidants, pigments, and polyphenols or flavors, these are other components that are present in the food. So now we'll discuss some definitions and terms that are commonly used in food science and technology. So first of all, in this part, we'll see again we'll see what is this course. So as we know, this is it's an interdisciplinary subject. Interdisciplinary subject means we are not going supposed to discuss only uh, a specific science subject in food science and technology. Interdisciplinary subject means we are going to discuss a lot of science fields in the same in single degree. Like we will also discuss chemistry stuff. We will also use the physics laws. We will discuss the biology. We'll see the statistics. We'll see economics, marketing, business, quality, maintenance, and a lot of other subjects to understand food science and technology. So don't think we are going to discuss only single one or two subjects in this course, but as this is an interdisciplinary course, so a lot of subjects will be discussed in the food science and technology. So basically, food technology is use of the information generated by food science in the selection, preservation, processing, packaging, and distribution as it affects the consumption of the safe, nutritious, and wholesome food by application of techniques. So we will discuss some techniques to preserve, select, process, and packaging for the food. So means to say a lot of techniques will be also discussed to handle the food. So you can see here there is a diagram that exactly defines what to discuss in the food science. So microbiology, chemistry, biochemistry, physics to nutrition, statistics, food laws, and then agriculture and post harvest technologies. Each and everything will be discussed in the same subject. So these are the components of food science and technology. Here are some terms that are used in food science and technology. So first of all, there is food chemistry. What is it? This is about the basic composition, structure, properties, and changes occurring during the processing and utilization of food. This is what we will discuss in food chemistry. And food analysis, that is also like a sub part of chemistry, but it is you can say that the quantitative chemistry field relevant to the food. So all the techniques, principles, and methods for the qualitative and quantitative physicochemical analysis of the food products and ingredients will be discussed in food analysis. So food analysis basically discuss to check the quality, quality in both quantitative and qualitative terms, to just either to specify some food laws or just to match or collaborate either the food is meeting to the standards or not. So there is always some regulatory agencies for the food, uh, FSSAI. So a lot of regulatory authorities are there. So they used to analyze the food quality by food analysis. So food microbiology is a study of microbial ecology related to foods. the effect of environment on the food spoilage, the physical, chemical, and biological destruction of microorganisms in food, the microbiological examination of foodstuffs, public health, safety, and sanitation microbiology. So, every type of microbiota, each and every type of microbes relevant to food uh, are discussed in food microbiology, and not only discussed, like they are discussed in terms of their physical composition, their chemical composition, the way, the principle, the method by which they spoil the food, sometimes spoil, and sometimes if they are benefiting microbes, so how they benefit the food. So these are all discussed under food microbiology. So food processing. In food processing, we discuss the general characteristics of raw food material, principles and methods of food preservation, factors which influence quality, packaging, waste management, good manufacturing practices, which are known as GMPs, sanitation procedures. So this comes under the food processing. So in processing, where the value of the food is changed, either it's nutrition value, it's economical value, shelf life changing, each and everything which changes the quality, shape, or nutrition of the food, and comes under the processing. And the processes which are being applied for that change are discussed in food preservation. So packaging, management, GMPs, these are all the things that are discussed in food processing. Next is food engineering and packaging. So food engineering involves study of engineering concepts and unit operations used in food processing, such as thermodynamics, fluid flow, heat and mass transfer, food packaging aspects, etc. So here we are supposed to discuss some physics laws. This is food engineering, and in engineering we where there is processing, there is always a unit operation. Like if we are processing milk, there is pasteurization. So pasteurization is a unit a unit operation. So there in a specific processing of food, a processing line, there is more than one unit operations, and each unit operation is specifically discussed and studied by the engineers that discuss of that study food engineering. Okay, so always there will be some laws like thermodynamics, what is the fluid flow, what is the effect of heat and mass transfer, how it happens, and what are the aspects we have to keep in mind while food is being packaged. So that's all about food engineering and packaging. uh, Next is food additives. So first of all, we will see what are food additives. So these are the substances that added intentionally to food. Focus on the term that is intentionally, generally in small quantities, to improve its functional, physical, and sensory properties such as appearance, color, flavor, texture, acceptability, taste, and storage behavior also. So these are the substances. Okay, we intentionally add them in the food just to change its value, for the taste change, for the color change, but basically we are focused to enhance or improve the quality of the food by any of its means. So any foods, basically these are also foodstuffs, but they are used in small quantities. So they are not part of the food fundamentally, but they are added intentionally to change the value of the food in their physical aspects ways, in their quality ways, in their taste, appearance, or whatsoever. So these stuffs which are used in minor quantities are known as food additives. Food fortification. This is a process by which nutrients are added to enrich foods in relatively small quantities to maintain or improve the nutritional quality of the diet. So in fortification, if some nutrients are missing in the they are very rare in the food, like if some vitamins, vitamin thiamine, if it is very poorly present in any food stuff, we while processing, scientists can add them intentionally, just to maintain its level in the food that is supposed to deliver to the consumer. So that process is known as food fortification. So mostly fortification is done for minerals, some vitamins, and a lot of other things. So food fermentation. Fermentation is the biological process that break down organic materials, which is carried out by microorganisms such as bacteria, yeast, and mold to a desirable end products. So this is very relevant term. Fermentation, very common term, where some biological processes are used, biological mechanics are used to convert the food stuff from one form to other form. So by some biological systems. So biological systems can be microorganisms. Among microorganisms, it can be bacteria, yeast, and mold. So yogurt production, wine production, these are all the products that are formed by food fermentation. Next is comes functional food. What are functional foods? So functional foods are those foods which provide health benefits beyond the nutrition contribution when they are eaten on a regular basis in an adequate amounts. So functional foods has positive effect on person's health, physical performance, or state of mind. In addition, they check number of health disorders. So these are functional foods, how they are distinct from the normal one. So they are not only supposed to deliver a nutrition value, they can provide health benefits also. Like yogurt, if we are consuming yogurt is not only provide some nutrients or whey and other nutritional components to the body also, but they also provide they are rich source of microbiota, like some prebiotics and probiotics are also delivered to the body by consuming yogurt. So yogurt is also considered as functional food. So these type of foods very important, they to the body in terms of body performance, health, and some other mental health also. So these are all functional foods. Next is food safety and regulation. So as we have discussed, for the food safety and regulation, there is some agencies, there are some organizations that are specifically organized to check, to maintain the quality of the food, like FSSAI, that is the full form of FSSAI is Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. So in Pakistan, there is PSQCA and PFA, Punjab Food Authority. So there are different food managing authorities for the food safety and management. What they do, basically they are safety and regulatory authorities that are supposed to regulate the food sanitation, safety, hygiene, and a lot of other to minimize the food hazards for the public health, and for food regulation, and for food item safety. So there are some act and regulations also for food safety and regulation. Now have a look on the objectives of the study of food science and technology. Why we study food science and technology, why there is a need to design a specific degree, a separate degree for food science and technology. So first of all, it is designed to understand the nature and composition of food. First of all, we know food is very important to the body. So to understand its nutritional composition, to understand the chemistry, to understand the physics, and some other aspects relevant to the food, this degree, this discipline has started. So this is first one. Secondly, to study the changes that occurs in food during storage, preparation, and processing. So we all know during the food storage there a lot of changes happens. Food can be deteriorate, it can be off smell, it can taste different from the normal one. So to understand that changes, like we study food science and technology. Next, to learn ideal methods of food preparation, processing, and storage to conserve the nutritive value and increase sensory and aesthetic properties. So with the advent of science, with the advent of ages, we want to innovate the food also. So how to innovate it, as far as we are concerned with the food, until or unless we can understand, if we are able to understand the chemistry and some aspects of food, we cannot change it. When we can understand it, we can change it to in its new form. We can make an innovative food products. We can make the food that can easily be digestible. We can design a food for different age groups. As we have discussed, food requirements are different for different ages. So we can design different foods for different peoples depending upon their ages. So next, it is a study to improve the digestibility of food. So a lot of food is we consume daily. Some can be easily digestible, and some take a lot of time for their digestion. So to understand its nature, we can discuss this in food science and technology. We can see why some food take a lot of time for its digestion, and some food are digested in some minutes. Some minutes means like some hours, within an hour, within 1 or 2 hours. Okay, so that is due to some enzymes, some cooking methods. Okay, so these are also discussed in food science and technology. So it is also discussed, the quality and safety parameters of food are also discussed in food science and technology. So for the safe food production, it is necessary to study food science and technology to learn to avoid food waste and minimize food cost. That is also the objective of food, studying the food. So at the end, to understand the meaning of food, that is the very the best objective to study the food. So as far as we cannot know the what is food actually, we cannot do anything with that. Okay, so once students discuss study food science and technology, they become aware each and every aspect relevant to the food. So these are the objectives of food science and technology. Next is acceptability of food. So acceptability of food, the acceptability of different food preparations varies from person to person. So there are a lot of factors that affect the acceptability of food. What are the factors? You can see here in the figure: socio-cultural background, personal likes and dislikes. It can be methods of serving, feelings and emotions, environment, some palatability of food that further consist color, temperature, flavor, taste, and texture. So these are all the factors that affect the acceptability of food. So here is a little bit description of each and every factor. So first one is palatability. Palatability means how easy to uh, uh, what is the food composite is, how easy to how it tastes, how it looks, what is the texture, what is the temperature of food. That totally comes in the term palatability of food. So in the palatability, the first thing is taste. So we know sweet, sour, salty, and bitter are the basic tastes. Okay, so each food have a characteristics taste. Okay, so our birds taste buds are specifically they are trained to a specific food flavor. Like we were supposed to eat some you can say that cake. So there is a specific food memory, taste memory in our mind. So if it off flavor, it is off flavor, its palatability is not good. Okay, so here are this is the tongue. and different portions are highlighted for different taste receptors. Okay, like at the end, very end, there are bitter taste buds present. On these far behind sides, there are salty taste buds present, and some on the front sides there are sour taste detected, and at the tip of tongue there are receptors of sweet taste. So these are the basic taste receptors on the tongue, human tongue. So improvement of taste in the food. Different types of taste can be developed in food preparations by adding ingredients. So ingredients can change the flavor, the taste of the food. So you can see here for salty, sour, bitter, and other sweet taste we can add coffee, common salt, lemon, tamarind, vinegar, and sugars respectively. So flavor. Next it comes flavor. Sometimes if the food doesn't smell good, we are unable to consume it further. So a good food have a good attractive flavor. So the flavor of the food are due to some chemical components like aldehydes and ketones. So improvement in food flavor of food products. So how to improve the flavor? It depends upon cooking. like uh, Cooking can change the flavor of the food. So the well cooked, well baked, and well prepared meal have more flavorful aspects as compared to poor cooked meals. So that totally depends upon cooking also. So for improving the flavoring, we can also add flavoring compounds. So flavoring compounds can be some spices peppers, cloves, cinnamon, cumin, mustard seeds. Like in masala rice food preparation, sometimes we add masala rice seasonings, and sometimes different in pav bhaji making garam masala, and a lot of others you can say that dried parsley. These are also used in flavor enhancement. So addition of artificial flavoring agents can also be used to enhance the flavor, like vanilla, rose, cardamom. These are all the stuffs that are added mostly in the sweet desserts, cakes, and puddings, etc. Texture. So texture is also very important in the acceptability of the food. Structure component of food confers on them a wide range of properties referred collectively as texture. So for the texture, you can see different products have different textures. So here are some textures like crunchy. So biscuits, shankpale, chevada. These are the products that have crunchy texture. Crispy, uh, soft, smooth, velvety, spongy, and brittle are the other textures for the relevant food products. So these are the textures. Color, that is also very important factor in the acceptability of the food. A good attractive color can attract the consumer. If the color is off, food is off color, we commonly reject the food. So for improvement of the color of the food products, we can either use the natural food colors we can use the beetroot juice. It imparts red color. We can use uh, we can also use some other coloring compounds. So we can also use natural colors like saffron, turmeric, spinach for natural food coloring. Spices can also be used. Synthetic colors are very commonly used in ice cream making. Temperature have a very important effect on acceptability. Like for ice cream, you cannot consume an ice cream with high temperature, and you cannot consume a soap that is just frozen. So temperature has a very important impact on food acceptability. So second factor was socio-cultural background. So food is an integral part of social cultural life of the people. The circumstances under which one eats food are largely determined by its culture. So culture basically defines what are the food patterns of the specific area. So next is personal likes and dislikes. So under the same society, food priorities changes person to person. One like pav bhaji and some like desserts more than pav bhaji. So personal likes and dislikes also matters in the food acceptability. Then it comes methods of serving. What is a method of serving that also have an impact on food acceptability? Like some dishes are served in this form, that is traditional Maharashtrian style of service. So in Pakistan, we used to serve the different foods in different bowls, okay, and the breads in a cloth. So the serving pattern changes. So these are the cutlery that are used during the serving of the food. So feeling and emotions that also have an impact on the consuming food consuming time, food eating time. What is your mood, that also affect the acceptability. Sometimes when there is a rainy season, you are you want to eat some crispy and uh, uh, salty stuffs, and on happy occasions you want to eat some sweet stuff. So environment also have a lot of effect on acceptability of the food. A well clean, a well lit in environment affect the acceptability of the food. So these are all the factors that affect the acceptability of the food. And next is comes the functions of food. What are the functions of food? So first of all, physiochemical functions. uh, Energy. Food provides energy for some activities. For bodybuilding, for growth, we also need food, okay. And for body repairment and maintenance, we need food that provide proteins, minerals, water, carbohydrates. And for protection, minerals and vitamins are needed that are intaked by the food in the food form. For regulations, we need some stuffs like proteins, vitamins, minerals, and these are things that are intake in the body by the in the form of food. So these are all the functions of the food. So these are done. So in the first chapter we discussed some definitions. We discussed food acceptability factors. We have discussed the objectives of the food and some what are the functions of food. So hope so you enjoyed the video. uh, in the next part we will discuss uh, the other the next thing, that is scope and opportunities in the food science and technology. So stay tuned. Until then, goodbye.